Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Haripol Jyoti, I was just asking how are the kids doing?
Yeah, they're doing good, Mataji.
What grade are they now in?
They are in 3rd grade.
Wow,
actually, they're supposed to be in 2nd, but here they are in 1 class ahead.
Very nice. Share some pictures, Mataji. Valandar Palapo. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji, we were just discussing, like the number of people able to log in on a regular basis is a little, dwindling the numbers. So I was just wondering, if we should send a survey to see how many people are able to make it, or they need a change of time, or, like what is something that can help, like that we were thinking. Any ideas, suggestions, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I joined from India.
Yeah.
So for me, this time is like little okay, but manageable. But if you can change time for, your morning time, it would be good also, because other people also, I don't know what's their concern. Yeah.
Yeah, mornings we have the other classes, right? So it's like chock-a-block.
But whoever is joining to this class are all from India, Mataji, if you see like that. Like Jyoti Mataji is from India, Vishnupriya Mataji, and that brother and sister who joined, both of them are from India. Nobody is joining from US actually in this call, except me, Vilasni Mataji. Rest everybody is from India only. Yeah, as Mataji is saying, that is so true that it's early morning and they have early morning duties. So its time is not convenient for them. But then at the same time, Bhakti Sangha organizers or all the calls are very busy. This is the only slot we have. That's the problem from our side. We don't have a slot in the afternoon times or evening times that you are looking for. We don't have slots.
Morning, what time are you saying, Vishnupriya Mataji? Like you said, India morning time. What time India morning? Sorry.
No, she's saying our morning time, Mataji.
Yeah. I was just going to ask her. So what morning time is good for you, Mataji?
No, in Mataji, now it is 6:50 a.m. Mataji. Yeah, so Mataji, I don't have any concern to change the time, because like you said, even other times we are occupied with all other classes. So I'm just telling, so change of time, seriously, I don't know what time to change. We also don't know.
Oh, okay, Mataji. No, I'm saying, do you have like some evening time which is preferable for you, which is our morning?
Yes, Mataji. Like Thursday evening, it's totally free. If it is evening of any time, it would be good, Mataji, because we can sit peacefully and concentrate entirely on this shloka verses. Because I remember as Vinita Mataji is saying, Nitya Narasimha Prabhu, everyone else, or I think I don't know where from he
Yeah,
is.
they're
I
from the
think-
Middle East, so maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
For them also, it is morning only, Mataji. In Middle East also, it's morning only. Few
Yeah,
hours.
it's actually for him now. He was in the middle of the night or something like that. He wakes up at 3 o'clock to attend shloka class. He was telling me one day. So it's a lot of austerity. Yeah. That's why, I don't know, but morning from 4 to around 8:39, sometimes we are in US timing morning, 4 to 9, Bhakti Sangha call is there already. So I don't know, and after 9 I work, so I'm not able to do 9 to 5 anything, Mataji.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine, Mataji. Fine.
Yeah, or we can try pushing to weekend, Mataji. That's an option. But and then again, weekends, so many organizers like Vinita and all, they are doing over the weekdays, and weekends only time I think she takes off, Vinita and Preeti and also.
Mataji, weekend also I work, Mataji, morning. Morning,
Yeah.
the classes will finish around 8:30 sometime, 8 o'clock sometime, and then, yeah, before I used to organize even children classes, we got it
Yeah.
so much hard it becoming, and then we reduced the children classes for Sunday. We thought, it's becoming hectic for the organizers, and then we removed Sunday class. Saturday, still Anjana Mataji is managing, so I'm not doing anything in the afternoon Saturdays. But mornings, Saturday and Sunday, morning 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, still 8:30, I'm still with the computers, Mataji.
Yeah, it's nearing 7:30. What do you suggest we do?
Mataji, instead of thinking of other ways, we'll try to inspire people who are already there in this call only, Mataji.
Oh, you think that's a better option? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
let me send out a survey, and asking, it's a new year, so who are able to commit, maybe it may kind of get serious people involved like that, right? We'll at least come to know what to expect, how many people to expect, and then we can decide from there,
yes,
right?
Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all your inputs. I'm thinking, okay, she gave me the host sharing. Thank you, Vinita. So anybody wants to recite the invocation prayers, please? Mangalacharya. Or I can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can do.
Okay, sure, please.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace Abhayacharnaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidism.
Thank you,
Shri Krishna
Mataji. Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji. Sorry, I was distracted.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances unto Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasa and all others in the line of devotion. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. O Lord, O energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hari Bol. We'll start with the verses which we covered last time. And these are like the 4 key verses I was mentioning, right? About how, after Narada Muni actually instructs Vyasadeva, he goes and meditates and then starts the Srimad Bhagavatam verse. And this is glorifying how Srimad Bhagavatam is, shoka moha bhayapaha, like it, it eradicates like lamentation, illusion, and fear, things like that. So we'll go over today's verse, and then we will perhaps revise these verses which we did last time. So this is today's verse. I need one volunteer who can recite after me, please. Anybody wants? Okay, Vishnu Mataji, thank you. Kunti Vacha
Kunti Vacha
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Namasye
Namasye
Purusham Tvadyam
Purusham Tvadyam
Ishwaram
Ishwaram
Prakrite Param
Prakrite Param
Alakshyam
Alaksham
Sarva Bhutanam
Sarva Bhutanam
Antarbahir
Antarbahir
Avasthitam.
Avasthitam.
Kuntyuvacha
Kunti Vacha
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Ishwaram Prakrite Param
Ishwaram Prakrite Param
Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam
Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam
Antarbahiravasthitam.
Antarbahiravastitam.
Kuntyuvacha
Kunti Vacha
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Ishwaram Prakrite Param
Ishwaram Prakrite Param
Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam
Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam
Antarbahiravasthitam.
Antarbahiravastitam.
Kuntyuvacha
Kunti Vacha
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam
Ishwaram Prakrite Param
Ishwaram Prakrite Param
Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam
Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam
Antarbahiravasthitam.
Antarbahiravastitam.
Thank you, Mataji. We'll try to understand the meanings. Anybody, anything, come up like when you see the words? Are you able to decipher meanings of any words? Anybody wants to volunteer? How about Mukund? You're too quiet today. Mukund, are you there?
Mataji, namaste means obeisances.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very nice.
Purusha means the one only, the Purusha is Krishna.
Mhm.
And Ishvara means he is the supreme controller. Ishwaram and Ishvara, I don't know if I'm saying right. Then Sarva Bhutana means for every living entity.
What's Prakriti?
Prakriti.
You know Prakriti also.
Prakriti means material nature.
Wonderful, yeah. Antarbahir?
Means inside the heart, Mataji.
Yeah, inside, outside.
Inside.
Very nice.
Thank you,
Avasthitam means? Sthitam means? Avasthitam?
means staying.
Yeah, situated. Very nice. Yeah, it's kind of understandable, right?
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, param means?
Which is the greater, highest.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, the greatest, supreme, topmost. So you kind of figured the meaning, right? Very nice. Thank you so much, Vinita Mataji.
Mataji, it's all because of your class.
Oh no, I didn't do anything. Oh, God's mercy. Yeah, like Mataji just mentioned, the word-to-word meanings are kind of easy, right? It's very commonly used in so many shlokas. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam. Adyam means he is the supreme, the original. Ishwaram Prakrite Param. So he is the supreme controller and, even of the Prakriti. Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam. Alakshyam means, anybody wants to take a chance? What Alakshyam means?
Lakshya means a goal or purpose, and alaksham is it the opposite? What is it?
That's a good try. Anybody else wants to try? Yeah, alakshyam. Lakshyam also, it refers to vision, like alakshyam sarvabhuta. He is not visible, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not visible. Alakshyam sarvabhutana. Antar Bahir Avasthi. Though he is situated everywhere, Antar and Bahir. So this Kunti prayers, just one small clue, maybe it will help us to remember better. It's in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter. If you see 1, 8, 18, easy to remember, right? So that is where Kunti, Queen Kunti's prayer starts, 1, 8, 18. You see the numbers 1, 8, 18. So it's easy to remember where it starts. And also the little bit background may perhaps help why she is telling all these things. So, when Uttara was, when the Brahmastra was chasing Uttara and, she was in a state of panic. And she prayed, to Lord Krishna. At that time, even Kunti Maharani, the Pandavas, all were there. So what happened was Lord Krishna, he entered in the Paramatma form and then he protected the womb, right? We are very familiar with the story. That's why, we are seeing, she's saying Antar Bahir Avasthitam. She's saying that I'm seeing Lord Krishna right in front of me. He's there. But at the same time, he is inside protecting Parikshit Maharaj also. That's why she's glorifying him like, Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahir Avasthitam. So the mundane people cannot see the glorious Lord, like they don't know that the same Lord is actually inside protecting Parikshit Maharaj. So she's like, it's not visible to, mundane people who are actually captured by material modes. So that's why she's glorifying him like that, like Antar Bahiravis. Though he is situated everywhere, he's there, he was there right in front and he was inside, protecting, like that. Lord is present, in different forms around us, but we don't realize it, right? Because we don't have that knowledge or that faith, basically to understand his presence everywhere. So that's what she's trying to say here, that Namasya Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahir Avasthitam. So that's what even Prabhupada explains in one of his lectures too, that in Kali Yuga, the people are so degraded that even if the Lord comes and says that I'm the Lord, people, may not be able to believe, because there's so many charlatans around who proclaim that they are the Lord and, they are the supreme, like that. So people have lost faith, in it. So that's why, it's difficult for people to understand the presence of the Lord, even if the Lord were to come, personally. So it's not like by just visually seeing the Lord that you can understand he's the Lord. We have to do, Nama Rupa Charita Adi Sukirtanano, like you may have to actually glorify his name, his form, his activities. Only then we'll actually know the Lord. It's not like just visually seeing the Lord that we will understand that he is the supreme person, but we have to actually see them through the lens of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra to get an actual understanding of who's the Lord. Otherwise, Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam. Otherwise, we are not actually seeing him in his true form. That's what Kunti Mataji is actually glorifying, even though she is the aunt of Lord Krishna, and he is in that social order, like he's in a subordinate position to his aunt, right? He's after all the nephew of Queen Kunti. So we'll see in future verses also how she glorifies, keeping in mind that she's older, elder to him, like that. There are so many nice references Prabhupada gives, and these prayers are very wonderful prayers. In fact, Prabhupada mentioned that all Matajis especially must learn these prayers, because she is in such a humble mood. She portrays herself like as though she's not qualified to get darshan of the Lord, though she's very close, right? Lord Krishna always helped Kunti Maharani and her sons. So, but she portrays herself like a fool, like, she's like she's has no knowledge. She's but a woman, who is from a lower varna or ashrama, like that. So she says that she's not qualified. So these are very nice prayers, which all of us can try to learn and meditate on. So any volunteers who want to recite this verse, please?
I can recite.
Oh, sorry, maybe, sorry, I skipped the translation. Maybe we'll just read if anybody wants to read. Let me just, we'll read what Prabhupada has translated. From our own, whatever we could guess, and now we'll read what Prabhupada has to say. Can you see the screen? Is it visible?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, translation is visible, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Jyoti Mataji, you raised your hand. Do you want to read, Mataji, synonyms and translation?
So can I chant the verse once, Mataji?
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, 18th verse. Kunti vacha namasye purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakrite param alaksham sarva bhutanam antarbahiravasthitam. Synonyms. Kunti vacha, Srimati Kunti said, Namasye, let me bow down. Purusham, the Supreme Person. Tva, you. Adyam, the original. Ishwaram, the controller. Prakrite, of material cosmos. Param, beyond. Alaksham, the invisible. Sarva, all. Bhutanam, of all living beings. Antaha, within. Bahi, without. Avasthitam, existing. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. Thank you, Mataji.
So, thank you, Mataji. Like Prabhupada says here, he's Ishwaram Prakrite Param. Param is he's above, these modes of material nature. And like how Vinita Mataji translated all the words beautifully for us. So we could kind of get a glimpse into what this verse means, right? So this is basically when we see prayers, in any context, first we see that, usually the composer of the prayer or who is reciting the prayers, they first establish the supreme, position of Lord Krishna, supreme position of, Bhagavan. So like we see here, Kunti Mataji is actually saying Namasya Purusham Tvadyam. So she's establishing that Krishna is the supreme person. So first they, they try to establish the fact, the premise, the basic premise, like they say that, who is the supreme personality of Godhead and what are his functions? Ishwaram Prakriti Param. So he is, controller of even the Prakriti. And then Antar Bahir Avasthit. So many different features of the Lord are described, right? So usually that's how speakers compose. When I'm saying speakers, I'm referring to exalted Bhagavatam, personalities, devotees, when they compose prayers. The first few prayers will be describing who is the supreme, establishing the position, the supreme position of the Lord. Like here in this context, Krishna. I mean, in any context, it's Krishna. So that's how we can see, after that, they will try to describe the pastimes of the Lord, how the Lord has helped them, things like that. They then, try to get more personal into how they have actually benefited from the Lord's association, like that. So we'll see in that same vein. So first she is establishing the supreme position of the Lord and how the people, the common masses, are not able to see the Supreme Lord, even though he is present within us in the Paramatma form and outside us, also, but we are not able to see him in the true sense of the Supreme Lord. So that's what Queen Kunti is trying to say here. And also Prabhupada mentions that in the purport, she's telling Purusham to Adyam, like I was telling before, like she is older, right, in age, and she also social order to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is her nephew. So she's trying to address him as Purusham to Adyam. So not looking at a material plane of just aunt and nephew. So she's trying to expand this time realm into Purusham Tvadyam. So she's looking at him as the original person. So that's why she is glorifying him as the original person here. And second point is she's saying he is greater than Prakriti. Third is that he's invisible to the common masses, though he is situated, everywhere, inside and out of everything, but he's still invisible. So if that helps us to remember, what all points she's trying to say, it will help. And Prabhupada's purports for these are golden. Please do take time to read Prabhupada's purports. We will revise last week's verses. I'm purposely trying to keep these classes short, so it motivates people to join every week. If we did a long class, then people may join 1 week and next week, so I'm trying to keep it short, like half hour or 35-40 minutes, like that. So we have that pace and that enthusiasm to keep joining every week. Okay. Okay, let's revise these verses. Any volunteers who have not spoken so far?
Can I go, Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead. Oh, Preeti is here. You sound much better than last time.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
said you sound
Yeah.
much better.
So, I just recite the verses, Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead. You can try the fourth verse and explain what you understand. And then, others can also take a chance, or if you're motivated, you can go ahead with all verses too.
Okay. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranihiti amale apashyat purusham purnam mayam cha tad apashrayam. Bhakti yoga is devotional service, manasi, mind, samyak pranihiti amale. Amale means pure, is what I'm. Then apashyat, not seen, Purusham, the Supreme Lord, Purnam, who's
Okay, apashyat, there's a clue.
Oh, yeah, remember. Yeah, last week you told this. Seen, actually, it comes to seen. Yeah.
And apashrayam?
What?
Apashrayam? Ashraya? Apashrayam?
A shelter. Apashraya
is again shelter.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Though it kind of appears it could be an antonym, right? Usually when you add it means antonym. Apashyat also means seeing. Apashrayam also means taking shelter. Yeah. I just wanted to bring that.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please go ahead, Preeti.
So by Bhakti Yoga, all the impurities are removed, and you see the Supreme Lord, the complete Supreme Lord, and the Maya, which is under his control.
Very nice. So this is like Mataji said, describing how after Vyasadeva receives the instructions from Narada Muni to actually compile the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he goes and meditates, right? So with Bhakti Yogena Manasi, Samyak Pranahite Amale. So he is, not affected by any modes of material nature, and he's perfectly situated. Samyak Pranahite Amale. And Apashyad, and then he is seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Apashyad Purusham Purnam, Mayam Chatad Apashra. So, and he sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he also sees that Maya is fully under the control. Chatad Apashrayam. Tad is referring to the Lord. Apashrayam is under his shelter, under his control, under his jurisdiction. So Maya is not like, cannot act independently. She's always under the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is how Vyasadeva, when he went to meditate and, he starts meditation. So he's situated in this perfect position where he's able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he sees that Maya is under his control, like that. Yeah, and then let's see the next verse. Preeti, you want to go, or anybody else would like to volunteer?
Anyone else wants to volunteer?
Can I turn?
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Yaya sammohito jiva atmanam trigunaatmakam paropi manute nartam tatkritam chapi patyate.
Do you want to comment on any meanings, Mataji, that stand out to you?
Yes, Mataji.
Go ahead, please.
Sammohitam means illusion, the living entity, jiva. Atmanam means atma. Trigunatmaka means three. This jiva is conditioned by these three modes of material nature. Anartham.
Paro means?
Paro means which is transcendental.
Wonderful.
And anartham means inauspicious things which should not happen like that. And kritam means
Krita means to
do.
Yeah, very nice. Anartha, he is doing anartha. Very nice.
Yeah. So the living entity illusioned by these three modes of material nature, he also undergoes these things. This anarthas. Thinking himself, he is also one of those. Also, he is one of the part and parcel of Supreme God, but because he is illusioned, he thinks like that.
Yeah, very nice, Mataji. You got the words, but translation is slightly different. But you got it for the most part. Very nice, Mataji. Yaya sammohito jiva. That means yaya somewhat this way. The illusion jiva. Okay, sammohito means to be in illusion, right? And what is this illusion he is having? Atmanam trigunatmakam. Atmanam means considering oneself to be a trigunatmakam, to be nothing but composed of the three modes of material nature. So this yaya sammo, this way, this sammohito jiva, this illusion jiva, what is he thinking? Atmanam, myself, to be a product of the three gunas, trigunatmakam. But what he is paro api. Api means but, paro. Paro means he is transcendental, right? The spirit soul is transcendental. But what is he thinking? Because of illusion, he's thinking he's a product of the material nature. Paro api, that is, even though he is actually transcendental, like the spirit soul is transcendental, manute, paro api manute. Manute means, paro api means even though he is, spirit soul, he is manute. Like manute is like manna, we say in Hindi, manyante. Those words like the kind of the same root, I'm hoping. Atmanam trigun. So he's thinking himself Atmanam Trigunatmakam, even though he is actually Paro, he is transcendental. And then what does he do? Because he's doing Anartham Tatkritam Chabi Padite. He keeps going around in this samsara cycle by doing all this anartha. Because he's associating with the three modes of material nature. He's not involving in spiritual activities because he thinks he's a product of the three modes. So he is Anartham Tatkritam. He's just doing anartha and anartha and anartha and just going around in this samsara cycle. So this is the position. First we see how Vyasadeva is actually, meditating and seeing the Supreme Lord and sees Maya separate from Supreme Lord, and Maya is under the control of the Supreme Lord. Next, he is describing the position of the Jiva, that the illusion Jiva is thinking himself to be a product, and he's getting involved more and more. He is getting caught in the web of material life. Tatkritam, anartham tatkritam. He keeps doing all anarthas. Now, next we'll see what is being said here. Any volunteers who want to read this, please? Mukund is very quiet today. I don't know. He's busy with something. Anjaneya, Anita Mataji. Okay, go ahead, Mukund.
Which one do I have to read, Mataji?
6th one. Are you too busy with some work, Mukund?
No, Mataji, I can read right now.
Okay, I was just wondering, maybe you have some homework and you're just listening in. I didn't want to disturb you. So
No, Mataji, it's fine.
the sixth one.
Anarthopasamam
Pashamam.
Shad Bhakti Yogam Madhokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvamsa Chakre Satvata Samhitam.
Very nice. Any words stand out to you, Mukund, here?
Bhakti Yoga Madhokshaja, it's saying that we should worship the one who is Adhokshaja. And
Lokasya, you
Yep.
know what Loka means?
Yeah, Loka means like a planet or like
The
one-
world. Yeah.
yeah, like a whole world. And Chakra maybe means like maybe like Sudarshan Chakra. And Samhitam is like some type of poetry.
Yeah, that's cool. Vidwan, do you know what's Vidwams?
Destruction?
No, not really. So, yeah, but
Oh.
great try, Mukund. Yeah, thanks so much for reciting so beautifully. Anybody else who any words stand out to you? Any of the
That
other?
is he's thinking Vidvamsa. Vidwan, this is.
Oh, Dvamsa. Oh, you mean like that? I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Vidwan is like a scholar.
with with means knowledge. Like we have no Veda with all that with is the root word for knowledge. So Vidwan means somebody who is very knowledgeable. Yeah, please go ahead, Vishnu Mataji. You were saying something.
No, Mataji, I was just telling he might have thought like Vidvamsa. He just wrote description, right? Yeah. Vidwan is like a scholarly person.
Very nice. Any other words, Mataji, you want to comment on? Anartho Pashamam, do you want to try?
Yes, Mataji. So, as it is the continuation of the last verse, that anartha means the anarthas, like what we discussed in the last verse. Upashamanam means to reduce or to get rid of. How it is possible? Sakshat Bhakti Yogam Adhokshije. Directly by doing the Bhakti Yoga, devotional service to Adhokshija is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Lokasya is the people in this world, Loka. Lokasya Ajanato means they don't, Ajanato means they don't know. Shatvata means something which is permanent connection or something.
Let's say Shasvata.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Satvata means, like very pure literature, sublime literature. It means like that.
Okay. Vidwan is the scholar, as you were told already.
So who is the scholar in reference here?
Vyasadeva.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So for this people,
what did he do, Chakre?
Can
you guess what Chakre is now?
As I know the meaning already, I don't know what does Chakra means, but the meaning here is that Vedavasa has written this Bhagavatam for these people.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we just figure the meaning, by the context, right? So I was just trying to get there because, okay, we understood Lokasya Janato, like the people of the world don't know. And what did Vyasdev do? He Satvata Samhitam, Samhitam, like Mukund said, poetry or literature. So what did Chakra has to be compiled or worked on or composed, something like that, right? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you. And thank you, Mukund, also. So, like Mataji just explained, Anartho Pashamam Sakshal. So, in the previous verse, we see that the living entity is considering himself or herself to be a product of the three modes and getting embroiled or entangled in the cycle, of anarthas. He or she is involved in material activities, which are nothing but anarthas. Unless we, do activities which are spiritual in nature, we are only building our anartha base. So, anartho pashamam sakshat, how can it be done? Sakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje, by, offering devotional service to none other than Adhokshaja, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Lokasya janato vidvan. So the common people, they don't know that this. So what is Vyasadeva doing? He is compiling this great literature called Srimad Bhagavatam for the benefit of, all the fallen souls in Kali Yuga. Yeah. Any other volunteer who would like to do the verse 7? Somebody's raised their hand. Jyoti Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So the 7th verse is again the continuation. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpadyate pumsaha shoka moha bhayapaha. So here the root word shruyamanayam. So here, so the literature that's what's compiled by Srila Vyasadeva. So while hearing about Krishna Paramapurushe. So hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Bhaktir Utpadyate. So Utpadyate, the bhakti is arised in Pumsaha, in the living beings, and then Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. So their Shoka, all the sorrows and miseries, Moha, the attachments, Bhaya, the fear, all those are driven away.
Wonderful, right? We need this solution only in this Kali Yuga, right? We are looking for these things, right? We are looking for how we can alleviate all our distress, our miseries, how we can, get rid of all this greed and attachment and, the fear, the most important thing, fear, right? Fear, uncertainty. So what is the solution being prescribed here?
Hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, just, hearing, reading, studying, in Bhagavatam will get rid of all these things which we have. So clearly, right, it is written that this is the way to actually get rid of all these problems of material life, right? So clear, and no words are minced at all, right? Here, everything is so perfectly and clearly mentioned. Shoka moha bhayapaha. So if we want to preach to somebody that why you should be reading Srimad Bhagavatam, this is a wonderful verse, right? We can tell them that it is declaring openly that Shoka Moha Bhaya, if you want to get rid of all anxiety, miseries, everything, just take to this. It's a wonderful preaching verse. We hear this verse often, a lot of speakers, they actually quote this verse when they are trying to glorify the Srimad Bhagavatam or discuss the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is a way of all the 4 verses, all 4 are key, but 6 and 7 are, even more, and especially 7 is more often quoted than, the other verses, but all 4 are like the key verses we should try to memorize. Okay, we'll try to recite today's verse.
Mataji, when I saw the word Utpadyate, I was trying to recall the other verse that we had learned here.
Yeah, what is that verse from? Even from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it's there, no? That it only gives rise to that Ekantiki Harer Bhakti Utpada Eva Kalpati or something like that. I mean, I'm just drawing a blank. That verse in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which says that, we should be practicing devotional service in association of devotees. What is that verse? Yeah, I'll try to recall. Mataji, you had something else in your mind?
No, Mataji, it's been long time since I joined, so I was trying to, I thought maybe you all know. So I'll find out, Mataji. Like
Sure,
here in the class we had, I think it was in the early chapters of Canto 1.
Yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank. Yeah, but I'm sure this is commonly used. This word is used, let me try to Google up. All right, Preeti knows. Yeah, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu verse was the one that actually, came to my mind. Yeah, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhimina Aikantiki Hare Bhakti Utpada Eva Kalpate. That's what I was trying to remember when I saw this verse. Yeah, anybody else recall any verse with that word Utpadite? There's also many verses from the Bhagavad Gita, which I think in the 16th chapter, there are a few verses which say, with that gives rise to this. Yeah, if I recall, I will just share on the group, Mother, and please, you also feel free to share when, you come across that verse.
Some verse with Notpadayate something.
Notpadayate yadi ratim shrama evahi kevalam. That one. Vasudeva, yeah, Vasudeva Bhakti Bhakti Yoga. So that is the other one. What is that beginning of it?
Dharma Sanushtita Purusha.
Yeah, Vishwaksena Kathasu. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for reminding that. Yeah, very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
That was telling now Utpadayate, right? Yeah. Yeah, Notpadayate yadi ratim shrama evahi kevalam. Dharma Svanushtita Pumsam Vishwaksena Kathasu. Yeah, that verse says Dharma Svanushtita Pumsam, like situated, in the Dharma or religion, Vishwaksena Kathasuyaha, and he's also reading. Vishwaksena is referring to the Supreme Lord here as a protector, that is what Vishwaksena name actually means, is the protector or the shelter for everybody. Vishwaksena Kathasuyaha. So, you're listening to the glories and reading Bhagavatam and doing everything, but Notpadayate yadi ratim. But if it does not give rise to any rati means attachment or any kind of love for Krishna, Shrama evahi kevalam. It is just useless waste of time and useless endeavor, because all this reading, everything is not, it's just speaking about myself, this verse actually, just artificially, superficially doing all these things, but no rati is being developed. It's just a waste of time. Yeah. Thank you for reminding that verse, Mataji. Anybody else wants to add anything?
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So, so what should be done, Mataji? Like, even after hearing, if we are not able to develop attachment, so here it says, on hearing about Krishna, the Lord Krishna, bhakti is produced, and then all our fears and attachments and distresses are driven away. So
yeah, there's another verse, like I said, I have the starting trouble with verses in the Bhagavatam, which we have done earlier, which says that, by doing devotional service, by serving devotees, we'll get the taste to read Bhagavatam and try to understand the supreme position of the Lord. So that is also another important key verse, but like I said, I'm drawing a blank on that verse. So basically, devotional service, Mataji, to advanced devotees, that actually will help with a lot of our anarthas when we have these blockages. So that verse actually explains that how offering devotional service will give that clarity of heart for us to even start reading this literature like Bhagavatam. And then once you get that interest to study the Bhagavatam, then the real, it awakens the real love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if we have that anartha, sometimes we don't find the taste also, right? To it's like, okay, some story I'm listening, it's, nice stories are being mentioned here, all fantastic stories, like very nice fairy tale like that. So many things are listed, so we just take it like that. But we have to translate it to devotional service. So when we do devotional service, like, we serve Guru and other devotees, then the taste will actually develop. That's what that verse says. Like I said, I'm not qualified to be your shloka teacher. I forget myself. My memory is failing me, but there's an important verse. I'll look it up and I'll share that, Mataji. I hope that helped.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Any other questions or comments, devotees? Okay, we'll move on to today's verse and we'll just recite it 3 times before we close the call today. Kuntyuvacha namasye purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakrite param alakshyam sarva bhutanam antarbahiravasthitam. Kuntyuvacha namasye purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakrite param alakshyam sarva bhutanam antarbahiravasthitam. Kuntyuvacha namasye purusham tvadyam alakshyam sarva Ishwaram prakrite param alakshyam sarva bhutanam antarbahiravasthitam. Thank you so much, all devotees. We will just recite the Panchakalpa prayers. Panchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vija patitanam pavnebhyo
Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sukha Sagari Devi ki jai.
all glories to Shri Gauranga and all devotees. Mataji, I'll try to look up that verse and share, and maybe that'll help all of us. Thank you for your beautiful questions and contribution. All of you are panditas and are so nicely know the meanings of everything, and I'm trying to learn in your association. So thank you so much, everybody, for your kind association. See you next week. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank